Okay, I think we're back. I think. If it'll show it. Okay, looks like we're back. Alright, cool. So, we did make it back home. And, what's going on, JK? I forgot to say hi to you. How you doing, dude? So, yeah, the bearing broke on my front wheel. So, I don't have a spare bearing, but I do have a spare wheel. So, I'm going to put a spare wheel on here for now. The disc rotor, it's not as big, it's not as thick, but I gotta make do, right? Just gotta make do. And I got DoorDash on pause. Just keep track of the timer. We should be good. So I'm going to put the spare wheel that I've got. I'll show you what it is. I've had no problems with the bearing for this one. This was on my previous bike. It's got a quick release axle. The disc rotor, it's I think it's 1.8 millimeter thick, 160 millimeters wide, or diameter, I mean. So, you know, it's not as impressive, but it gets the job done. And compared to the other wheel, I don't need those special felt washers to hold it in place. This already comes with washers that hold it in place. So I'm going to put this back on after I get the tire back on, which it's going to need a new tire anyway. I don't have too many tires in stock. I've only got a couple. I do have some heavy duties, but the heavy duties, they're too taxing on my motor. Dang it. Okay. Hopefully the GoPro doesn't get too hot. The airflow in the garage isn't the best. But I got the door open. I got another door behind me. Try to get that cross breeze going on. Hopefully it helps. The Wi-Fi in the garage is also hit or miss. Yeah, new tire. I know I'm gonna have to get new tires at some point. Just kind of putting it off though. Understandably so, because I'm a broke ass bitch. Just gotta make do with what you got, right? I keep saying it. I say it like every goddamn live stream. You know, make do with what you got. Alright. And the electric pump. Here we are. I've got two bike pumps. I got the air compressor, and I've got an actual foot pump that you gotta press to pump up. It's always good to have a backup. You never know. There you go. Yeah, these can always be a little tricky. Just gotta sort of sandwich it in. There you go. That's how you do that. Nice and easy. And I don't know how well the view is. That should be better. You can use a tire lever to do this stuff too. I just use my bare hands most of the time because I've been doing this long enough. Hey.
Did you see a package out here yesterday?
Was it for Larry?
Yeah.
I put it on the counter.
The kitchen counter?
Yeah. Hi, Lucy.
Or maybe he found it.
Okay. There was another thing here too. There was a little bag. It was on that table. Was that like a turd?
Oh, I threw that away.
Oh.
Yeah.
I looked at it. I was like, yeah, this looks a little suspicious.
That was last night.
And my mom and brother, they did confirm tomorrow afternoon they want to get the taxes taken care of.
Okay.
So.
That's fine with me. I'll use it in the morning and that's that.
Okay.
I'm staying home for the next many days, I hope.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had to come back home a little early because the bearing on my front wheel broke.
You could tell?
No, it literally broke off. So there's supposed to be a shell around here. It's
Yeah.
totally gone. It's just a bearing
it fell
hole.
off.
Yeah, it just chipped off. So I'm using my spare wheel
Yeah.
because, you know, always have a backup plan, right? Right,
Come on,
Lucy?
Joseph. Grab a collar for me. Boy, it's humid out here, isn't it? There's no air.
It is, yeah.
Come on, brother. You gonna stay out here?
Yeah, it looks like we're doing alright. Let's catch up with the comments, see how everyone's doing. Let's see, Candy's back. Welcome back, Candy. Glad to have you. So, what happened? The bearing broke off my front wheel. And you kind of need a bearing in order to hold the axle in place. Otherwise, it's going to be like really rattly and damage the brake caliper. So I'm using my spare wheel that I had from my other bike. It's got a quick release axle. The bearing is in good shape. So I'm probably going to order another bearing for that wheel and just use this as a temporary solution. It's already got a disc rotor on it. It's not as thick, but it'll get the job done. JK, change your icon. Sick of looking at that one. We told him Terry, but he doesn't listen. Did Lucy come to the rescue? Yeah, I think she got back from a walk. Lieutenant Lucy, always on the lookout. 17.5. She's so freaking cute. Yeah, she's adorable. I love Lucy. think we're good. Perfect. There we go. All right. Forgot to change the camera a little bit, but we just put the wheel back on. So this brake rotor, it's 1.8 millimeters thick. The one on the wheel that the bearing broke off of is 3 millimeters. That's a pretty big difference right there. That just means your stopping power is greater. But it also means it causes more friction. When it causes more friction, there's more heat. So that's just something to keep in mind with general longevity with these brake calipers. These are hydraulic brakes. And since it's not as thick, I'm gonna dial it down. I'm gonna dial it up a little more just to help with the braking power. Because it's not as good, but it gets the job done. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. I guess while I'm at it, I might as well change the brake pad on my rear caliper. I've been meaning to do that. So let's make sure it's not... Yeah, it's getting pretty hot. I don't know how much longer this GoPro is going to last in the garage. Let's see, Terry. Okay, it looks like JK's got to head out, taking mom to the store. All right, take care, JK. Glad you stopped by. And yep, we're okay. We'll be back on the road before you know it. Terry's got to go cut some paper. Have a good day. See you, Candy. Glad you stopped by, Terry. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And I'm just going to change the caliper, and hopefully the GoPro doesn't run out. And make sure you gotta dial it all the way down. Loosens it up. Because the dial that's on the brake levers, that tightens the pressure of the pistons. The pistons is what allows you to clamp the brake pads together. Alright, so one side of the brake pads is okay. So this side is okay. It still has a decent amount left. This side, though, is definitely worn down quite a bit. So basically, we're swapping it out where both pads are nice and thick. So it should be good. Another tire change. No, so what happened, Corey, at the end of my previous stream, the bearing of my front wheel broke off. So I had to come back home. I changed the wheel. So not the tire, but the wheel. So, you know, the rim, everything that's on it, that's the wheel, right? I had a spare one that has a quick release axle. That was from my G-Force bike. So even though I hate that company and I hate the way they treated me, I still kept some of the parts because I figured it'd come in handy, right? I still have the frame too. But I changed out the wheel because the bearings on this one is good. The bearings, that's what holds the axle. And then the axle, you mount it on the fork. It could be the front or the back. If the bearing breaks off, then it's just going to fuck up the wheel. And it's going to cause more damage to the brake calipers or whatever kind of brakes you got. And it's going to potentially warp the frame or the fork that it's on. So it was best that I brought it back home as soon as possible. And we just got it changed out. So as you can see, runs good. And I'm changing the brake pads on here too. The rear one. Because I changed out the brake pads last week for the front. The rear one I needed to change them out, but I was just putting it off for a little bit. I'll have to actually take the wheel off. I can tell it's going to be a tight fit. Alright, let's see, is this... Okay, it's warm, but it's not too bad. Just want to make sure. And if you're curious about how to take a wheel off, just check out my how to change an e-bike. Just because maintenance is lower, more affordable, easier to do, doesn't mean that there's no maintenance at all, right? Life be like. All right, that's done. Okay, who's in the chat? Oh, we got She Cooks, She Roasts. What's going on? Let me, I'll make you a mod. So, there's a wrench. You want to go sub to people? Go right ahead. Candy licked the video. Good stuff. Cool beans. So now, get rid of that. Now we can put this back on. Tire pressure's good. All right. Okay. I'll have to shift it around a little bit. You can put felt washers on the rear on the axle of the rear wheel if you want. Like you can put it in between the fork arms that hold the rear wheel. But it also widens the travel, which means that it can create more inward pushing force on the axle and the bearings. So that's not always ideal. Sometimes you gotta just kind of fiddle around with it and see what fits best. So yeah, it's chafing a little bit, but sometimes I'll just rock it back and forth and then it'll just fit right in without scraping on the brake disc. Okay, that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. It's gonna wear the left side a little bit, because that's what happened last time. You saw the brake pads I showed you, the old ones. The left side was more worn. It's because the axle's a bit uneven on this bike, but you know, I get the job done. It's not that bad. Plus, the new brakes, they're thicker. It just means the braking power is gonna be better. And having a good rear brake is more important than a front one. It's safer. Let's see. Looks like Electric Scooter Academy's line. That's cool. Good for him. Alright, no overheating yet. That's good. Let's see. Susie's back. Welcome back, Susie. The bearing broke off my front wheel while I was out. So I came back home. I used my spare and we're good. Welcome back, Sonny. What's going on, KC? The front brake alone will throw you over the handlebars. Yeah, exactly. That's what happened to me last December when I got my accident. When I got my accident, it was raining out and I hit a pothole, but I front broke too hard. Led to a sharp pivot and I fell 15 feet in front of my bike. I mean, luckily, it wasn't that bad. I basically like 95% healed after 2 weeks. So it could have been a lot worse. But I needed to change out the brake pads for my rear because the left side was pretty worn. And I changed to a new wheel because I had a spare wheel for my other bike. So the bearings, they're a lot more sturdy, no damage on them. They're a little dirty, I'll have to wipe it down, but other than that, we're good. So yeah, that's what happened before. And I'll put these away. I figured this stream was me just picking up after where I left off when I got back home to the house. So, you know, not crazy eventful, not a whole lot to do or say, but just taking care of basic things, you know? Alright, done. So, in case you guys are ever wondering where I get a lot of my experience with fixing bikes and stuff, it's pretty much from just all the times that the bike got fucked up and I just needed to figure out, oh, well, this broke off. The thingy is not doing the thing, so how do I make the thingy do the thing? And just DIY, right? It's a lot of DIY. But it gets the job done, right? I've definitely built a lot of experience with just, you know, basic and more intermediate type repairs, like, you know, changing tires, the difference between different tires, how to change bearings, how to change brake pads, how to bleed out calipers, just, you know, a bunch of practical skills that are ideal and save you a lot of money and time. I mean, yeah, you got to spend the time actually doing the repairs, right? But at the same time, if you just pay someone else to do it, and then you got to pay for parts because they can upcharge for parts, you're just spending more money for shit that you can do yourself, right? You just buy the tool that does the thing with the thingy, and there you go. You learn yourself a practical skill that you can take with you and keep doing anytime it potentially happens again, right? Because just because you fix something doesn't mean that's it. It's gonna break again, and you're gonna need to fix it again. So that's where I get a lot of my practical experience from with bikes. You know, things just get fucked up. Sometimes more than I want, and sometimes the timing is just really bad. But it gets done. What am I going to do? Am I going to sit around feeling sorry for myself, or am I going to get shit done? Plain and simple. And let's see, that was a fast change. Yeah, it didn't take long. It was nothing serious. All I had to do was just I had to change out the wheel. So I just put the spare wheel that I had, and then I put the tire and flipped the tire on it. Made sure that the PSI wasn't lowering. It doesn't have a lot of tread, but I gotta buy some more. Gotta buy some more tires. I can just get the stocks. Stocks are good enough. Usually like the Kendas and Navias, those kind of tires. They get the job done. The heavy duties, this bike's too heavy for heavy duties. All it does is just fuck up my motor way too quickly. And let's see, we got today, or not today, not today, says bike maintenance so important. Yes, very much. You're gonna save a lot of money, and you're going to save a lot of time. You're going to build a lot of essential skills. And if you guys want to see more of those kind of videos, because I have one video out, it's how to change an e-bike tire. The reason why I put e-bike tire is because e-bikes are trendy, right? Everybody's talking about e-bikes. People are curious about e-bikes. And they're curious about, oh, well, are there more components? Can you do a lot of the same stuff with an e-bike that you can do with a regular bicycle? Fancy schmancy bullcrap, whatever. And I figured you can apply that skill that I teach you guys in that video. It's under 3 minutes. Go watch it. It's super easy, I'm telling you. That can apply to a regular bike as well. And it's even easier to change a front wheel. A front wheel is even easier to do because there's nothing holding it other than the washers on the axle. That's it. Those are the only things holding the front wheel. Now with the rear, yeah, like if you have an e-bike, you gotta unlodge the axle from the torque arms. in order to take it out, and then you got to take it off the chain and unwrap the chain from it, but it's still relatively easy, like I said. So, pretty simple. It says rain starting in 19 minutes. Yeah, it's looking pretty cloudy out there, so. How long does it take to charge the bike? So, if it's at empty, it'll take 7 to 8 hours because it's 60 amp hours. It's an 8 amp charger, so what you do in order to figure that out is how many amps is your charger versus the amp hours of your battery. So if your battery is 15 amp hours and you have a 3 amp charger, you just divide 3 amps from the 15 amp hours. So that would tell you how many hours you need to charge that. So 15 divided by 3, that's 5. So with a 3 amp charger for a 15 amp battery, it takes 5 hours to charge from empty. If I got my 60 amp hour battery, and it came with an 8 amp charger, 60 divided by 8, 7.5. So basically 7 to 8 hours to charge. It never gets empty though, because it just gets a lot of range. It's not exactly the best fuel economy for the type of battery that it is, but the sheer size of the battery is what allows it to get good range. So, I digress. But yeah, you know, assuming that the GoPro doesn't overheat, I'll do like more of these kind of live streams too, if you guys are down for it. You know, me just like doing bike tune-ups or tutorials. I don't know. If you guys are down for that, you can let me know in the comment section down below. But I gotta go to the store, and I'm gonna go grab some dinner. I forgot to stock up on dinner, so I'm gonna go do that before it rains. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And yeah, I ended my dash. So today we did okay. I made $44 and change. That was below my goal, but it's okay. No big deal. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap up here before it starts to rain out there. Hopefully I don't get caught in the rain. So I hope you guys enjoyed not just this stream, but if you guys tuned into my previous streams today, you tuned into the streams yesterday. We're definitely pumping streams out more so than ever before. And, you know, just doing my thing, really, you know. So if you guys enjoyed this kind of content, just give that video a lick. And tell your friends, tell your family. Let them know about this guy named Mike the Bike Dasher. You know, he live streams on his e-bike now. He does gig work on an e-bike. He does, I don't know, something you might find interesting. So, anything and everything I greatly appreciate. And I always appreciate you guys being here with me, just invested in whatever it is I'm doing. No matter how much buffering we experience sometimes, you know. You guys are like, whatever, you know, the buffering this, buffering that. Who cares? We like this guy. He's cool. And you know what? I like you guys too. You're cool. Yeah, Corey, we're wrapping up right now. I had to change out my wheel because the bearing broke off, and I changed out my brake pads on the rear wheel. So we're good to go. We're locked and loaded. But anyway, I'm wrapping up. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, just give it a lick. While you're at it, subscribe to the channel. Ring that taco bell, that way you get notified the next time I upload and live stream. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of today's stream, any other streams you've caught up with, what you'd like to see next for this channel, anything and everything, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to show super support for your boy, hit up my mom and brother. My landlord's letting me borrow her car, so I can do that. We're going to take care of some important stuff, all that good stuff. But anyway, I digress. I love you guys. Appreciate your continued support of my channel. Catch you next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.